In this video, we're going to solve another past paper question, and this question is, I should mention, from October-November 2019, paper 1, variant 2, so fairly recent. Alright, so question number 18 is what we're going to solve. It says the vertices of a triangle are A 7 0, B minus 1 comma 6, and C minus 1 comma minus 4. Okay, it says show that AB is equals to AB, so it's talking about the length here. No big deal. We need to find out the length of AB. We need to find out the length of A, B, and C. If we do it right, this should be equal, and that should be the end of the question. Okay, so let's write down the coordinates of A 7 0 and the coordinates of B minus 1 comma 6. And if I want to find out their length, so AB is going to be equal to 6 minus 0, the whole thing squared, plus minus 1 minus 7, the whole thing squared. So AB is equals to 6 minus 0 is 6, square of which is 36. Minus 1 minus 7 is minus 8, square of which is going to be 64. So we're looking at 36 plus 64, which is equal to 100. And the square root of 100 is equals to 10 units. There you go. Okay, now let's write down the coordinates of B, minus 1, 6, and the coordinates of C, minus 1, minus 4. Let's find out their length. So that means we're looking at minus 1, minus, minus 1. So whenever you have a minus sign, you've got to be extremely careful. Plus, minus 4, minus 6, the whole thing squared. So that means we're looking at minus 1, minus, minus, plus. So that's minus 1 plus 1, which is 0. Square of which is 0. So I'm really not going to, in fact, no harm in writing it. 0 squared plus. Minus 4 minus 6 is 10. And minus 10 squared is 100. Okay, so I'll just write square root of 100 instead. Okay, now that you guys know exactly what's happening inside the square root. Now square root of 100 is equal to 10 units again. And there you go. AB is in fact equal to BC. There you go. That's the end of the question. End of the first part, not the end of the question, because there's part B. Then it says find the area of triangle ABC. Okay, so your safest bet when you have to find the area of a triangle of which you know the coordinates is to first plot these points. And when I say plot, I don't mean that you need to like mark them accurately, but like just make a rough sketch, if that's what you want to call it, of where exactly is every single point, and then that'll give you a better idea of what kind of triangle you're dealing with. You'll be able to identify your base and your height better. And that's exactly what I'm about to do. So A is a point 7, 0, so that means it's on the x-axis. So there you go. Here's point A. Okay, I'll just write 7 here. In fact, you know what? I'll write 7 over here and A over here. Not that it makes a difference, but it just looks nicer. And then you have B minus 1, 6. So that means this is where minus 1 should be. This is where 6 should be. So this has to be point B. And then you have C, which is minus 1 and minus 4. Okay, so minus 1, minus 4 means that it's going to be in line with B vertically, but minus 4 has to be somewhere over here. So that means over here has to be point C, sorry, not B. Okay, so now I'm going to join these 3 points and make a nice straight line out of these. So there you go, there you go, and there you go. Okay, now finding their area should be pretty simple now. So we're going to take this length to be our base. So if you want to work out what your base is, so you can see that this line starts at 6 and goes, not all the way, but yeah, goes up until minus 4, which I've realized I've accidentally erased. So minus 4 is going to be over here. So your base is going to be equal to 6 minus minus 4, which means that your base is going to be equal to 10 units. Now, as far as height goes, height theoretically is the difference, is the perpendicular distance between your base and the highest point of the triangle. So this is what the height is going to be, and this length basically starts at minus 1 and goes all the way to 7. So I'll do this in a different color. So height is equal to 7 minus minus 1. So that means the height of this particular triangle is equal to 8. Okay, so it's not always that base will be horizontal and height will be vertical. Okay, these are relative terms. Okay, height is basically a relative term. So height is basically could be the perpendicular distance, and by perpendicular I mean the distance that's at 90-degree angle from the base, whatever length that you're considering as your base, to the highest point. Okay, so if I take the length BC as my base, so the highest the perpendicular distance from the length BC or the line BC to the point A, which is the highest point, will be the height. Okay, so now that you have your base and height sorted out, we're going to use the formula half times base times height. So that should be easy now. So half times 10 times 8. So 10 times 8 is 80. 80 upon 2 is 40. So that means 40 unit square, but you don't have to worry about the unit in math because that's already written for you. And there you go. That brings me to the, wait a minute, 10 times 8 is 80, 80 upon 2 is 40. So yeah, never mind that. So that brings me to the end of this video, and that's all for this video. I hope you guys have understood this question, and I'll see you guys in the next video with another past paper question. So take care. Bye bye.